Constitution of Kenya to determine how they were going to be governed. So unlike many other constitutions that are enacted through political settlements between agents within the political class, or through a convention or a conference, or through a legislature, the Constitution of Kenya stands unique in the sense that it is the people of Kenya who enacted the Constitution of Kenya. And you must bear in mind that it falls on us that any government that is formed in the country under the current Constitution must be on the basis of the principles and values that are found in the Constitution. So that Article 3 of the Constitution does not leave it in doubt that any government that is formed which is not in accordance or in compliance with the Constitution will be not a government recognizable by the people of Kenya. And therefore, since elections are the very basis of the formation of government, as set out in the chapter dealing with the representation of the people, it is upon us to go through very clearly, very studiously through those provisions and ensure that in the formation of government, we do not allow room for people to get to power through the back door. And whenever any group of people can get to power through the back door, then it falls within the sovereign power of the people to exercise their sovereignty to deal with situations that may arise in those kind of circumstances. The promulgation of the American Constitution, which was written by people like Jefferson, is very clear on this kind of political theory, that people can even take up any means to retake or regain their sovereignty. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is it. This is what the IEBC has denied the people of Kenya ever since the elections were held on the 8th of August 2017. This is it. This is the document that contains the results of the elections in 2017, in which more than 80% of Kenyans participated. The results contained in this document are authentic, unpolluted, unadulterated, and we are going to make a copy available to every member of the press that is here, and those who would talk to us later on. We are going to avail this, because in this document, you will find all the details of the elections, beginning from polling stations, and in respect of polling stations is giving the details of the polling stations, the code number of the polling station, where there were several polling stations in a center, the name of the center is given, and the code for the center. There are details about the wards with the code numbers of the wards. There are details of the constituencies with the code number, the name. At the end of the elections, since the Constitution requires that the elections must be accurate and accountable, the word accountable is important in the sense that at the result of the elections, even 3 years later, somebody should be able to access the records to determine how these elections were held, and in respect of all the results in all From this document, you will understand why the IEBC are to withhold results from 10,000 polling stations for as long as that they needed in order to manipulate the elections. Now, the decision in the Maina Kai case, and we have the results from all the polling stations, and those results are as they were contained in Form 34A before they were transmitted and when they were transmitted to the cloud. Our technical people are going to explain that. These results, we want to tell the Kenyan people that if the IEBC would have the courage to open the servers, because if they open the servers, not just a read-only, but a full disclosure and access to what is in the servers, you will find in every material particular, those results will be consistent with what we have in this document, and it will be explained to you by technical people. And since Kriegler in 2007, we had not moved because the general position was that elections in Kenya do take place quite fairly and freely at the polling stations. The trouble begins from the polling stations when results are being transmitted. It is going to be explained to you how from the initial transmission, there was interference and manipulation of the elections that were the results which were transmitted. So I don't want to take long because it is now going to be the technical people who are going to take you through what is in this document. But the important thing that on the 8th of August, more than 80% of Kenyans participated in that election. It was an election which had legitimacy as compared to the elections which took place on the 26th of October 2017, in which less than 25% of Kenyans participated. So even the legality and the legitimacy of the elections held on the 26th of October are questionable. The 8th of August are only questionable on the basis that the IEBC, together with agents within Jubilee, engaged in a criminal enterprise where they falsified the results as was being transmitted from the polling stations. If anybody had any doubt or any fears about it behoves of this nation, unless there's a constitutional resolution of the crisis we have in Kenya today, if anybody had any doubt as to why Raila Amolo Odinga should be sworn as the President of the Republic of Kenya, if you go through this document, you'll come to the conclusion that truly not only was Raila Amolo Odinga and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka are elected on the 8th of August 2017, but Kenyans should go ahead and take the position which they have taken and have been touring together with the principals, that we should not be afraid to run away from the truth, which is that the Kenyans made a decision on the 8th of August 2017. And those are the facts. We cannot have alternative facts. Yeah, facts are facts. We can have our own opinion. But what happened on the 8th, the result of that event is contained in this document.